What it is? How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about Rat Race, the movie coming out of the 2000s, star-studded cast. We're going to talk about all the things. We're going to talk about people spending too much money. We're going to talk about Smash Mouth. We're going to talk about just the links people will go to for only $2 million. Know what I'm saying? Gonna talk about all the things. So if you want to hear what we have to say, sit back, relax, grab a snack, grab a beverage, and listen on in to the first ones to die.
Hey everyone, welcome to the First Ones to Die podcast. My name is Jonathan. I am here with Alex and Jerome. Alex, how you doing?
I'm good. I don't know why I just tried to hide my phone under the desk. Like I'm not a whole grown-ass adult.
It's the PTSD from high school.
No kidding. I'm like, oh, he's talking. I don't know why. I'm doing good. I've been really warm. It's reached 101 degrees today, so I hated it, but I kind of liked it because I like knowing it's hot outside, but being cool inside. It's like a weird thing. But I'm doing okay. It's just been really busy at work. I got to watch our movie at work, thankfully, though. So I got paid to do it. I'm very proud of that. But other than that, nothing much has been going on with me, which is kind of nice right now. It's a nice quiet going on, and I'm appreciating that from the universe.
The fact that it's reached 100 in Washington before it has in LA, global warming.
Honestly, I think it's because of the weather that nothing drastic or dramatic has been going on in my life. Everything's too hot for drama to be stirred up, for issues to be stirred up. The
Everything
universe
feels
is,
like it's at a
yeah,
standstill.
yeah. The people are like, we'll cause problems next week. It's fine. Like, let's just all go inside and have a cool drink. Let's not bother anybody. So I feel like that's right now where the universe is at.
Right. When it's hot and when it snows, those are the times when like everything just stands still.
Although I like when I'll actually, every time it snows, I'll actually go out at nighttime when it snows. And sometimes, I live across a gas station. I'll scare the attendants over there because they're just trying to open things up. And then here's me just standing on the balcony in, the dead hours of the morning in the snow. They're not prepared to see another person out there yet. So I do accidentally scare them from time to time. I do apologize because I'll see them jump and I'm like, sorry. Anyway, how's your guys' weeks go? How are you doing, John?
Good. This week I went and saw a musical that a friend of mine was in. They were 15-minute musicals, so there were two teams of 3 people, and they did 3 musicals that were 15 minutes, give or take, long. And it was really good. I had a really good time, and the shows were really good. They had each had to follow a theme and had to have certain beats. But I enjoyed each and every one of them, and I had a really good time. And the people who were in the show were really good and talented. So that was a lot of fun. I could have watched Beetlejuice as well at Contagious this week, but I opted not to, just because this week was like really hectic.
Why? Oh,
I know.
I'm so upset that you did.
This week was just, I like needed sleep, and just remember how I said last week I like had gotten sick. It really hit me starting on Tuesday. Like my congestion, I was like fine with like my body kind of, but the congestion was just like out of this world. I was sneezing every single minute, and it was just like not great. I'm doing a lot better now, thankfully, but yeah, last week was busy and a lot was going on. Next week will be a little bit lighter. It's gonna be heavy on the front end of the week. We have a big launch at work, but other than that, that has been my week.
Oh, is it still the Harry Styles?
Indeed. So we're doing a huge like party, and He's gonna go to Access Hollywood on Monday. So yeah, that should be really fun.
You guys do a lot of, or it seems like you guys do a lot of premieres at Access Hollywood,
They love
right?
us. Yeah. It's anytime we have a new figure, they always want us to take them to Access Hollywood.
I won't lie, sometimes I forget that show does exist.
Yeah, as naturally, because
It's been a
but
while.
yeah.
Well, only people watching are
uh,
old people, so.
I'm old. I feel old a lot nowadays. I don't know if it's the tiredness or I will go on TikTok and see these like Gen Z kids mention about something from the olden days and it's like, that hurts. That felt personal when you made that comment about something that was like from the 90s or early 2000s. How you been doing, Jerome?
I'm good. I have a bit of a headache, so that's why I'm a little quiet. But we power through, we persevere, as they say. Um, it's been a pretty okay week. I watched and finished Beef. So good. Glad I got a chance to watch it. Ali Wong and Steven Yeun should do more projects together. They had such great chemistry, and they did such a great job. Can't recommend the show enough. If you haven't seen Beef yet, go on to Netflix, watch Beef. It's great. Also, had a lot of trailers come out this week. And also, someone reminded me that the Bird Box sequel is out on Netflix right now.
It's
Bird
out?
Box Barcelona came out yesterday.
Never heard of it.
It's
I
just
heard of it.
more
I've
Bird
seen,
Box,
like,
but
one
in
preview
Spain.
I'm assuming it's not with Sandra Bullock.
No, new cast, completely new cast. I'm sure this is not. I don't even think this is based off a book, because I don't know if there's any Bird Box like book sequels.
No, there's a Bird Box book, but not even the movie Bird Box was properly based off the book, other than the idea of like these monsters making you go insane when you see them, or aliens. I'm not even sure what they are. So anything forward was never really Bird Box anyway.
So that's out. But also the trailers that came out this week. The only one that really stood out for me, the biggest, was Wonka. We finally got our first look at that movie. It looks actually pretty cute. It looks funny. The only selling point that made me go, oh, that's interesting, is I didn't know the director of Paddington was doing it. Paddington movies are great, so that does give me a little bit more hope. Oh, they're so good, and they're nice, family film, wholesome, because Paddington. But that gives me a lot of hope.
That's a
Paddington,
bear,
I
right?
think, is the
Be a
only.
lot better.
Paddington is like heralded as it has like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think
That's the
one of the
one with
only
the bear
movies
in the
that-
blue jacket, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Paddington
Yeah.
Bear. Mm-hmm.
He is a kitty.
So
I have to look this up.
So that gives me hope that Wonka will do well. The trailer doesn't look too bad. I'm not sure if I'm sold on Timothée Chalamet just yet, but he's not doing a bad job. It's just we haven't seen you don't get a lot of his performance in the trailer as much. You get a lot of just like the atmosphere and the feel and the vibe of the movie for sure. And it seems like it's going to be a fun movie. They show the musical numbers, but you don't hear any of the music. You just see a bunch of people dancing. So I wonder if that's got me a little concerned of why are y'all hiding the music? Wouldn't that be the first thing you'd want to sell?
Well, I would be concerned more with the fact that Hugh Grant is an Oompa Loompa.
Actually, I thought the
that?
CG for that actually looked pretty decent. I was impressed. I was like, oh, this doesn't look too bad.
I'm sorry.
It is
Paddington
weird that they're
has a
so
90
small.
Paddington has a 97% and Paddington 2 has a 99%.
Okay.
Oh, the sequel has a higher one.
Yeah, I heard both movies are great.
Maybe I'll watch Paddington. We're gonna find Paddington.
But yeah, so Wonka looks cool. I could care less about Napoleon, the new Napoleon movie with Joaquin Phoenix. They showed that too. I think Ridley Scott's doing that movie, if I'm not mistaken.
What do you mean by Napoleon?
Right.
It's a movie about Napoleon. The
Bonaparte?
French general turned ruler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Napoleon Bonaparte, starring Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon. which looks fine. I think I don't think Joaquin Phoenix has a French accent in it, so which I think is funny to me. But it looks fine. It looks all right. You know, it's another biopic. It's clearly probably going to be in the Oscar running later at the end of this year, I'm sure.
You sound
Yeah.
super excited for it. I feel that
I'm not into it. I saw the trailer and I was like, okay. Even though people were talking about it.
There are just so many more interesting, I feel like, historical figures. And they just decided to go like, hey, let's go to 8th grade history class, see what they taught, and then we'll grab whatever historical figure that is for that month. I feel like that's how they do biopics nowadays.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw them talking, you know, I follow movie news. They're talking about the trailer and I was like, why does anyone care? Like, not that the movie looks bad, just like, who's asking for a Napoleon movie? That being said though, the Bob Marley movie though does look interesting. It's weird that they have a trailer already because the movie doesn't come out till next year, but that looks interesting. I am excited to see that movie.
They're trying to build
the
hype just like
same thing about Oppenheimer though.
Yeah,
it's true.
Any movie they're
You
trying to
said the
build
exact
major
thing.
hype on.
Sure.
Because The Color Purple, they released the trailer, like 2 months ago, and it doesn't come out till Christmas.
Right. Like, well, that's normal. It's like, for them to come a whole, it's like, they don't even have a date for 2024. It's just 2024. I'm like, when? 2024. We just told you. Like, that's not a date. That's a year. That could be any time.
To date enough.
Yeah, so that was cool. There was one other one that I was thinking about. Oh, and Blue Beetle released finally the official trailer for Blue Beetle, because the first one was like a teaser. This one is more, you get a little bit more time. Cool to see that they're really like committing to Blue Beetle. You know, there's no Latin superheroes, so this is the first one. Well, I guess Miles counts, but I mean in live action, there's no Latin or Hispanic or Latino superheroes, and so I am excited for Blue Beetle to come out. It looks fun. I don't know like how it will tie in. They say it's supposed to tie into the James Gunn rebooted DC universe somehow. So that's cool because that means they'll keep this going if it does well. But yeah, so I'm excited for Blue Beetle for sure. And I also saw Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, Part 1.
I heard it wasn't great.
Subtitles. I liked it. I thought it was good. It definitely is not like it's a much better Part 1 than I think out of all of the 3 we've gotten so far this year, because we've got Miles
Part 1
like Spider-Verse, we've got Fast X, and now this movie. I think this is the one that does the Part 1 thing.
Why did they all decide to come out at the same time too? Like,
I think that's just coincidental.
For funsies.
But I like, because Across the Spider-Verse, like, it has a great cliffhanger ending, but it's just that it's a cliffhanger, and Fast X just ends there. I wouldn't even call it a cliffhanger. Literally, the movie just stops, and they're just like, "See you next time."
I swear, if I'm watching Barbie or Oppenheimer and I see "to be continued," I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I
would love for Barbie to be just a Part 1. I would definitely be excited for a Barbie Part 2.
Well, the thing about this movie is it's a complete movie. Like, it's Part 1, but technically, like, it has a beginning, middle, and end. So it feels almost like this is like one book, and then like book 2 is gonna come. Is you know what I mean? Like, that's how it feels. This one doesn't feel like, yeah, this one doesn't feel like it's a cliffhanger as much as it's like, no, this is the end of the first chapter. The second chapter is gonna come out, but you feel like you're whole. You feel like,
so even if you never saw the second chapter, you would still feel closure.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
it's good, but I like it. I thought it was a fun movie. I do think a few characters get like axed off in a really weird way. And I'm like, oh, well, that's disappointing. They didn't really get to do much. And I love that actor. But it is what it is. Cause the movie is star-studded. I mean, there's a lot of people in this movie. But the main stars are great. Tom Cruise is of course fantastic as Ethan Hunt. He can do this role in his sleep. Haley Atwell's great as a like new addition, And the stunt work is impeccable. I mean, past just like him jumping off the cliff off the bike, there's a sequence at the end that's incredible. I was like, it had me actually on the edge of my seat, like, yo, how are they gonna make it out of this one? This is insane. and to know the dedication they put into the movie is really cool. Like, they built the train just for them to run into it and like run on it. Like, they built the train cars and everything, so that the stunts could be real. Like, that's really impressive and really cool. So I really do think it's a pretty cool movie. I don't know if I like it better than the last ones, but to be quite honest, don't ask me any plot details about the last ones, because I couldn't tell you. I remember the stunts. I don't remember the plot. So that's, I think, the thing that I think a lot of people might be harping on for this movie is like, you'll remember the stunts. You might not remember like the plot though, because it's a very like simple like cookie cutter plot just so we can get these stunts and stuff happening, but it's still
I feel
fun.
like that's a lot of Tom Cruise's movies, though, because the immediate thing you'll hear about Tom Cruise's films, he does his own stunts. Do you see this stunt? He did it himself. That's usually what I hear over if the movie's good, the plot, other actors, or anything. Immediately, Tom Cruise does his own stunts.
It's good selling points. What helps with the John Wick movies, Keanu Reeves does a lot of his own stunt work too.
Keanu Reeves helps with the Keanu Reeves movies.
They're the two that are like the only ones really still doing it. I guess Jason Momoa to a degree, but he's younger. I mean, like, as far as men in their age, like Keanu Reeves and Tom Cruise, they are still doing their own stunts, which is impressive. It's really impressive. And then, of course, big news, actor strike started this week. So now, not only do you have no one able to write your movies and TV shows, now you got no one to be in them either.
That's true, too.
And the way that quotes from execs and studio heads, the way that they're coming out, it's like, wow, these studio execs really do not, they don't care about money apparently, and they don't care about the livelihood of the people who help build their studios. So, you know, more power to the actors, to the writers. Hopefully they can work on some negotiation soon, but from what it sounds like, it's not going to happen anytime soon.
I feel like with the actors, it'll be easier than with the writers, because the writers are asking for better residuals and better payment. The payment, I think they can get. The residuals is where it's the holding up part for the writers, only because for streaming, certain sites don't have the revenue stream to do residuals without changing the way they do their business. Because, like, you know, Paramount Plus, Hulu, they have ads, so that helps pay the that service to be able to pay the residuals. Netflix doesn't, which a lot of people are like, oh man, Netflix doesn't have ads, that's why I use Netflix. But it's like, yeah, their alternative though is they're completely subscription based. That's entirely their revenue stream outside of
Netflix has added ads now. That was a whole big thing with Netflix. They have plans with ads now, so that is something. They've upped their pricing. Them? They've restricted the pricing. That's one of the base plans. You can have.
I know they were
ads
talking
now
about
with
doing
Netflix.
that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So then that may change some things, because that was the big argument where it's like you had a lot of writers writing for like streaming shows that were very popular, especially on Netflix, but you know, not exclusively. There was other places, and their residual check would be like in the triple digits.
2 cents.
Yeah, like you would get like no.
Well, now, yeah. But I know the actors are asking for that too, for residuals for their streaming work.
But their biggest thing also is the AI stuff. Apparently, there was a lot of the producers were trying to make a negotiation, basically that like people who play background actors or extras would essentially, they would sell their face and rights, and then after that, they would be like, "Now we have you digitally. We don't ever need to hire you again." And it's like, okay, so where do I work then? Like, if every company implements that, literally you'd work for like 4 studios for a day, so they could get your body scan, and then you'd never work again. Unless you become famous, I guess.
How presumptuous of them to think that they have the technology to make that look as realistic as it currently is in film and TV. It will not look that real. It will not look that great. Like Jonas, at least right now with the current technology, it won't.
Right. Especially, and also it's more work that's unnecessary, because it is easier to pay for a group of bodies to come to wherever, whatever it is you're filming, whether it's a battle scene, sports event, stadium type scene, whatever it is. It is way easier to just get people to come and do that, as opposed to paying CG artists how much money to render out like a bunch of scans of different people in an audience. How does that make sense money wise? And that's, I think, the biggest issue is like all these producers are trying to make it seem like we're putting money hand over fist to make these movies. You don't have to. We've made you look at blockbusters back in the 80s and the 90s, they were making blockbusters for like a quarter, if not smaller than that, of the budgets they make now. You could make an Indiana Jones movie for like 20 million back in the day. Now they're making them for like 200. You don't need all that. And most of that money's CG.
A lot of it comes down to CG, and it doesn't look good. People can clearly tell. And people get excited when you find out that they're actually, oh, this was a life scale model. This is great. Or this was just good camera work. That's what it comes down to, is just you keep saying, oh, we want to make it look as real as possible. We can tell, because we also have screens and phones and things like that show us those little imperfections all the time. So having real people, real faces, real actors helps immerse yourself into what you're watching, into the project they've created.
And also, background actors, there's a lot of people who are trying to get into the industry and start by being background actors. And because they're constantly working, their way up the ladder by being in other projects, it allows them to be able to be in the spaces they need to be in to maybe get that audition that's going to be their big break or something like that. And more importantly than that, like if they do enough work, it pays the bills. It helps to pay the bills for sure. If you take a digital construct of somebody's face, I'm sure the studios are not going to pay them for every time they use that person's likeness. And if they do, they're probably going to nickel and dime them and be like, yeah, I mean, we'll give you like, I don't know, like a quarter of how much is like in this contract for us to give you. Like, it's not going to be worth it.
But kind of do to actors now in streaming services, because that one actress, I apologize, I don't recall her name. She was the Asian woman from Black is the New Orange.
Is the New Black. I saw her videos.
She showed original checks where she was making about like $7,000, per. I don't know how the payment system works out. Whether it's like she gets it every 2 weeks or every. However,
usually you get the check like after, because you have to you have to send the check to your management, and so they can take out their percentage, and then if you have an agent, they have to take out their percentage and blah blah blah. So you usually don't get that money until like a month or so later.
Okay, so she went from like 7,000 to less than $3, and they're like, "This is normal for when it comes to streaming. It's absolutely normal for your pay to start going down because less people are streaming your episodes. That makes sense. But that's jumping down from like maybe 100 at most to $30, 20. She dropped from like almost 7,000 to $3. So they're basically not paying her for the episodes that are streamed, and it shows that a lot of people who are now dealing with streaming. So it's not even that, it's this whole change in the way we watch TV, how consumers consume things, and the movie producers or TV show producers and companies aren't willing to change with it. They want the same deals they got before when it's clearly not the same. Because it's also not like old network TV where like they had control over sometimes what episodes were shown and even can say, hey, never air this episode again. They can't do that anymore. Now everything's just up there. Although Paramount straight up did with the Ladies in Pink, I think it was called.
Oh, or Grease. Something. Yeah, the Grease TV show, Rise of the Pink Ladies.
28 days. That show was up for exactly 28 days as it aired, and then they yanked it off and scrubbed it from their account.
I know, that's wild.
Yeah, which is what they're going to try to start doing with other shows, where they're going to be like, well, you don't want your $2 residuals? Fine. We're just going to scrub the show. It's probably easy for us anyway.
The thing is, like, I think as long as people, they, like, stand together, I think because, like, they said for the Oppenheimer premiere, none of the actors showed up. They all went on strike. So, like, nobody was there. that like, you know, people want to talk to, like the entertainment news, whatever. They stood in solidarity on that. And it's because a lot of them were like, I know what it's like to start from the bottom. And y'all are trying to screw over the actors starting from the bottom for what? For an extra $100-something on your, like, on top of you're already getting like how many thousand, like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
And they'll also push this false narrative that it's just about the bigger actors, you know, that they're like, oh, they're already making so much money a movie, they don't really need more. It's not. It is about smaller actors and background actors, voice actors, those people who, you know, don't get a name just yet, who you're like, oh, I kind of vaguely remember seeing them. They still aren't getting the credit they deserve. They'll try to push like, oh, it's Tom Cruise. He doesn't need any more money. It's not about Tom Cruise. It's about the other actors who are still yet to come up.
Yeah, because it's only a small percentage of the people who are actually rich or make this huge amount of money. The people who star in the TV show, the people who star in the movies. Everyone else, you know, at the time, you may think, oh my gosh, this is so great. I'm getting $5,000 an episode. But what happens, especially now, when you only make 10 episodes a season, that money, and then you have to, and then that season ends, or worse, the show gets canceled. That money's going to go away eventually. That money has to sustain you until your next gig, and you don't know when that's going to be.
Right.
Or the way they're setting out seasons too, because a lot of the seasons now, like The Witcher is getting sent out like there's parts, so you're waiting like 6 months for every episode, or 6 months for every part A, part 2 of season. Stranger Things is a good way to look at that, because there was like 2 years between a couple of those seasons, and you couldn't even blame the pandemic for that anyway. Good Omens with David Tennant and Michael Sheen, which I love, and I'm super excited. Their new season's starting out soon. 4 years. It's been 4 years from season 1 to season 2, and because of everything that's going on, as well as the pandemic and stuff like that, they're only coming out with 6 episodes. It's not very much. For the smaller actors on there, not counting the larger names, they're not probably going to get paid right either.
Yeah. So we stand with the writers and actors of both SAG and the WGA. Glad the DGA could come to an agreement with the with the Producers Guild. That's the Directors Guild of America. They turned out okay. They were like, nah, we got it. Like, but now they don't
got anybody to direct.
Right, like nothing. But that,
right for them.
Looking at the DGA, I'm like, yeah, but nothing really is gonna affect you. You know what I mean? You can't AI. No. You can't have AI direct the movie, right? Like somebody's got to be at the helm. So I'm like, yeah, but it's like for the writers and especially the writers thing is especially the thing for me, because I'm like, why would you not? Who's gonna write the movie? You're just the money man or money woman. You don't know the first thing about writing a movie, and even if you do, bet money you're part of the WGA, so you're getting the same deal.
What? It's because even as we're kids, we're told this: writing is not a real career. You can't make a real career out of writing, which is straight up bullshit. Entertainment, book, magazines, stuff like that, blogs, even content creators on TikTok and stuff need writers. They write scripts, they write books, they write screenplays, all this stuff. None of what we do in the entertainment industry can move forward without writers and their contribution and the rewrites they do, because sometimes actors like Ryan Reynolds is like, I want to ad-lib, and that's fantastic. You can tell it makes the movie a little funnier, but it's got to be stressing those poor writers out. They're like, great, all right, we're going to have to overnight it. We have to stay here overnight because Ryan Reynolds decided he wanted this direction. No offense to Ryan Reynolds, respectfully. I like the man. I'm just saying he's the only one I know off the top of my head who's very impromptu. So a lot of we get told so much that writing's not a real career. And then when faced with an obstacle like this, where the writers aren't getting paid enough, people are like, well, why are they complaining? You know, it's like, because no, that is their career. People are working to make this their career, and all they want is a livable wage. They're not demanding much. They want livable wages, which is something everybody in America strives for, unfortunately.
Especially because, I've always said it before. Nobody needs to live in a mansion. Nobody needs to have 8 cars in the driveway, and half of them being from other countries. Nobody needs that. People want that. That's not a necessity. You only need 1 car because you only got 1 ass. You can only sit it in 1 vehicle at a time. You only need...
Going on your t-shirt.
You know what I'm saying?
Preach.
I'm just saying, you only need but so many bedrooms because you only got one body. You can only sleep in one mattress at a time. You only need but so many toilets because, once again, you only got one ass. You can only sit on one at a time. All right? You don't need all that space.
Someone remixed this preach and
go say it
upload it. Yeah, upload it.
I'm just saying, like,
DJs
no one needs all that. You could easily live in this country and live a reasonably, like, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Extravagant life off of, if you make at least $100 million a year. At least that. You still will have enough left over to go on vacations, go to fancy restaurants, do all the stuff.
Okay, Mr. 2 million is not enough for me. I could do a lot with 2 million.
What are you doing with 2 million? Paying off my student loans and getting me a new car.
Yeah, you do plenty with 2 million. Get myself out of debt. Exactly.
Yeah,
you are $2 million in debt.
No, but I have a car that can put me in debt.
But listen, you know what? I'll never be in debt again for a while because I'll be putting in my savings. And plus, that's like a windfall. Like, I got 2 million. It's not like I'm making that. I just got it. So it's gonna run out eventually.
If you think about, if you make $100,000 a year, that's pretty good in this economy.
Also, I said 100. I said 100 million. I meant 100,000. Sorry.
Okay.
I meant 100,000. I said 100 million.
My bad. Like 100 million is your standard. Like,
no. 100,000 is what I meant to say. 100,000. You could easily live an extravagant life making $100,000 a year. No, if you make $100 million a year, kill yourself. You don't need to be making that much money. You are out here bankrupting this whole country.
Look, that's not as bad as what who said it? Hold on. Ron Perlman talked about. He straight up just threatened all of them. Did you see that
video? No.
Oh my god! Damn. I'll show it to you guys afterwards.
Ron Perlman's coming for the soul.
He was just like, listen up. There are other ways to lose your house. Just remember that. And also, because of everything, a lot of people know where you all live, and karma comes quick. That man is a threat, and I respect him so much.
I mean, he's not wrong. Like, listen, if you
he's not wrong.
They were talking about we're gonna starve out the writers. The writers like, okay, there's a reason. The phrase is "poor eat the rich." Better believe, you're getting a little hungry out here, and y'all looking mighty tasty. So yeah, just think about that.
And he's like, hey, you guys said you're gonna wait out till they lose their house. Well, there are other ways to lose your house. Just remember that. The way he did it, beautiful. He grabbed that Son of Anarchy like energy, and he was like, I'm gonna show you all exactly what we mean. It was fantastic. Also, Fran Dresser. I did not know she was the head of the union for the actors.
I didn't know that either.
It's amazing. I recommend everybody to go see her speech as well that she gave at the meetings. They're very powerful. They are very passionate and very precise and clear about exactly what they want moving forward and how they stand with their writers as well, because actors and writers need each other. They
Oftentimes,
go hand
actors
in hand,
and writers
honestly.
are like what's it called? Vice versa. A lot of writers are actors, and a lot of actors are writers. So I'm sure a lot of them, they're like, we know each other. We've all worked in tandem in a lot of ways.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of actors who are like, hey, I've seen what writing can do and I want to get into writing. And there are writers who are like, I feel like these words should be said this way and I would like to present them that way because, this is how I want to move forward with my career. Again, things are very intertwined and people do need to acknowledge that we can't lose one part, because a lot of it will fall apart. It's like a pyramid. It's a pyramid.
Yep.
No, I feel like a pyramid scheme still. But you know
only person winning right now is Zeus Network, with all the reality TV coming out.
And CBS, hey, Big Brother season's about to start. So that's
I did something awful this weekend.
And you watched
Big Brother? A little bit. No, I watched Vanderpump Rules, and I got into it.
What people have been, I've been hearing. I haven't watched it, but I've been hearing about the Scandoval
they're all terrible, terrible human beings. Like I thought the Kardashians were like soul sucking, but these people are awful.
So
And they just
one
like flaunt their wealth and everything, and it's just like I hate all of you, but I need to watch how your whole life is just being destroyed because Tiffany wore the pink dress that she shouldn't have worn to the gala.
So you know how they have the restaurants in Hollywood and everything?
Hmm.
After work, after one of our like launches, we went to one of the restaurants. We went to Tom, is it Tom Tom? Tom Tom? Is that one of them? Tom Tom?
Yeah,
With
it's
the two Toms, the two guys named Tom.
yeah, Tom's Tom.
Uh-huh. And one of the guys was there. One of the Toms was there. Not the one who was like not the scandal one, but the other one.
I don't know the other one yet. I just started watching it. It's terrible. And I do
Mm.
love that every episode somebody's gonna like it. They're like a parody of reality shows because somebody often gets a drink thrown at them. And it's like this doesn't happen in reality shows. Nope, these people are like watch every reality show ever and every parody, and they're
And
like,
then like
"We got it. Get me that red wine." But the point
wow.
is, we stand with the actors, we stand with the writers, and we'll do what we can to always show our support for them,
Yeah.
as well as
Nice.
adding donations to. I'll be adding that actually to our Instagram and our TikTok, and I guess our threads we're on now. Showing how you guys can support with petitions, always keeping yourself updated on what's going on.
Yep. And for
Yes.
those of you out there who are like, well, what about my Marvel movies? What about my Star Wars movies? It's supposed to come out in 2025. Watch something else. There's literally thousands upon thousands of shows you can watch, thousands upon thousands of movies you can watch. You haven't seen them all. I'm willing to bet you that. Watch those.
Yes. There we go. And one of
Yeah.
those things that you could watch, perhaps, is the 2001 film Rat Race.
Good segue.
All right. Yeah, yeah. Those one of my better ones. Uh,
I was 10 years old when that movie came out. I thought about that when I was watching it because I
I
remember
was
watching it when it
7.
came out.
Yeah,
See, making me feel old.
I watched this movie. I didn't, but let me start off with okay. If you haven't seen or know what Rat Race is, it stars an ensemble cast. It's about a Las Vegas casino magnate determined to find a new avenue for wagering, who sets up a race for money. It stars an ensemble cast of including Breckin Meyer, Amy Smart, Whoopi Goldberg, Vince Viloof, Cuba Gooding Jr., Seth Green. Let me go to the Wikipedia because this. Okay, Seth
okay.
Green, Lonnie Chapman, Whoopi Goldberg, John Lovitz. Go ahead, Alex.
Janice Bergs. I don't know if you said that. Carrie Diamond, Douglas Hayes.
You're saying the one-liner characters.
Yeah, because you got Kathleen and Jimmy,
Kathleen and Jimmy,
Rowan Atkinson, John
Cleese,
Cleese,
Wayne Knight, Silas Weir Mitchell, who, Alex, you said you started watching Grimm. He's in Grimm.
Yeah, when I saw him, I was like, hey! I was very shocked and surprised. He looks exactly the same. That man has not aged a day in his life. It is absolutely insane because I was like, you look exactly like him. Like you, like that's what I thought in my head. You look exactly like him, but I was like, no, wait, you are him. Why do you look so much like yourself at that age? It's weird. It's weird when white actors look the same. Usually they're the ones to age.
Also,
I'm
and a
not gonna
real
lie.
quick look to Dean Cain, who's in there for all
Dean
of like a few
Cain,
minutes.
yes.
Oh yeah.
That's a character with a
And
first
John
and
Cleese.
last name, like he's important.
Right. I didn't hear the last name at all in the movie.
It's in the
Yeah,
IMDb. He plays Sean Kent, and I'm like, who the hell was even referencing his last name? Why'd you even give him one in the script?
Maybe because he
'Cause he's
played
Sean Kent.
Superman and his name in Superman is Clark Kent. They wanted to give a nod to that. But anyway, I remember watching this movie so much as a kid, and I didn't realize how much I watched it as a kid until I watched it yesterday, because I remembered every single beat. I knew like exactly what the jokes were, how it was gonna end. But it was just a joy to relive it and watch it.
Yeah,
And
I
when
remember.
this movie came out.
God, you're 5 years younger than me? Really?
I guess
It's weird. I never thought about that. So that's a trip. Have a different memory of one of the like a scene in the movie and how the movie, like there's a part I guess I forgot and replaced it with a memory. I'll talk about. Oh, can we do spoilers? Can we talk? Can we go into
Yeah,
that?
so if,
Yeah.
like how we do our retro reviews, we just dive in, audience. So if you haven't seen Rat Race, too bad. You should watch it though. It's a fun time. But yeah,
Well, let me just start off. You know how people are like, "Oh, this movie could never be made today," or blah blah blah, and like people are too stuff like that. I absolutely think this movie could be still made, except for the family. His name was by
John
Leo,
the Pear family.
the Pear family. That whole storyline unnecessary from top to bottom, beginning to end.
but it
Like
was so funny.
It was
I loved every bit of it when they're
his
driving
family.
John Lovett's though. I don't know what it is about John Lovett. He always gets me, and it's because he always plays the most like terrible people, and yet it always makes me laugh every time. Every time
when he got pulled over, and he was going like,
yeah, he's
this
trying to
with
do
the
the like cute thing of like what seems to be the problem officer. Like it's like, hey, it's like you know good and goddamn well he is not falling for that.
See, I have the memory of eventually him telling his wife, like, "Hey, $2 million is on the line," and she's like, "Fuck our family trip." Like $2 million, let's go, and she being in on it. I remember that. I did not remember him literally drugging his family, shoving them into a truck, the 18-wheelers to drive off and run away from Nazis. I remember the whole Nazi line. That's why I'm like, I doubt at least his plot line can be remade today. The rest of them were weird and like sometimes, but like
maybe not
they
the
could all still
drugging
be made
thing,
today.
but the rest of it can stay. I think you still, because people still hate Nazis, so nobody would be like, "Oh man, you're making the Nazis look bad." Like no one gives a shit.
It felt like it was presented that him and the family were very much anti-Nazi and anti-Hitler.
Well, his wife looks Jewish.
Well, they're Jewish. They're supposed to be Jewish.
They're Jewish.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe also because I was also thinking like, ooh, some of the things in this movie are a product of their time.
Very much so. Very
yeah.
much so.
Like so we have basically, if you've never seen the movie, you probably have, but if you've never seen it, John Cleese plays this billionaire who brings all of these 6 or 5 groups of
7
people. Oh, it's 7.
It's 7 in the beginning, and then like as they all team up, like Amy Smart comes on and other people. It becomes like 10, I think.
Well, 10 groups of people, or 5 groups of people.
It's the mother daughter. It's the brothers. It's the
family.
The guy family. The Pear family, the lawyer,
Rowan Atkinson, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
No, I think it's 7 total because Breckenmeyer, Whoopi Goldberg, her daughter, the 2 brothers.
Right,
that's 5.
I was counting teams.
No, yeah, counting teams. Because the mother daughter.
There are no teams. They're all supposed to be. They're all supposed to technically be individuals, but they some of them just decided to pair up because they were pairs already. But really, there is no teams. They're all supposed to be separate.
There was teams because it was like the mother daughter. There were specific keys.
They gave the mother daughter one.
Continue
one
a conversation.
They would have given them 2 coins if it would.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, the coins equal out.
How many keys were there?
Right.
What are you arguing with us and you were not in that conversation?
There's
Oh, that's on YouTube. But anyway, so
Anyway,
there's multiple
regardless.
there's like multiple
If we
keys,
do the
and
two
there's
pairs, there is like 5 keys. Yeah.
So there's 5 keys, and uh, they basically get told, "Hey, there's $2 million in this safe in this place in New Mexico,
Silver
Silverdale, New
City.
Mexico.
New
Silver
City,
City.
New Mexico. Mhm.
and the first person to get it, first person to get it gets to keep it." And at first, the people are like, "I don't know about this. What's going on? Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, forget this."
I love he shoots
And
a
then
gun
they
to get
very
them to
quickly-
leave. It's like, get your asses off this table. Get out.
That's
Get out.
that-
Go. Race. Do it now.
He's like, wait, I have more questions. No, the time starts now.
It reminds me
Go.
of, you guys ever seen, you remember College Humor back in the day when they
Yeah.
had their YouTube channel? They used to do these segments where they would each do their own, like the themed series of sketches. They did one called College Humor Does the Purge, and one of the opening sketches is this lady telling them what the purge is, and they're asking all these questions of red tape, like wait, so if I steal a car during the purge, when the purge is over, do I have to go and put it on my insurance? And like, it was funny because there's a dude about to stab her, and he's like, "Oh shit, that's actually a good question. What's that?"
There's another one where one of the College Humor people are from England, and she's like, I'm technically British. Does it count if can I purge with you guys? Or am I, it's because of my visa, can I not?
Yeah, and it's just so it reminded me of that. Of just like because at the end of that sketch, she's just like, "For God's sake, there's no rules, just purge, go, kill each other."
But it's kind of it's a realistic
There's
thing.
6 silver keys, by the way.
Right.
There's 6 of
It's
them.
a realistic.
There's 6
What's the
silver keys.
sixth?
I just looked.
Okay. So we have Breckenmeyer and Amy Smart. We have Cuba Gooding Jr.
Right,
We have Seth, the brothers. We have the Cody brothers.
right,
We have the mom and daughter.
right.
We
Got
have
Breckenmeyer.
Oh yes, we have.
Or,
we
not
have I already said
Rowan.
that.
Yeah, yours.
We have Rowan
Oh, yeah.
Atkinson, and then we have the family. So it is. I guess it is.
Right, it is okay. It is 6. Got it. Okay.
Haha.
Yes.
Because I forgot about the family. I was like, who the heck is the 6th person? I didn't count. It's
It's the
Lovitz.
pairs.
John Lovitz, yeah.
Well, before the family didn't really count as a group member because they didn't know
right,
they
it
were
was just
on
John
the chase.
Lovitz, and he was just like taking them on a journey.
But
Some
it's
journey.
asking
God.
them
Sorry.
asking those questions at the beginning, I felt like was realistic because especially if you're in Vegas, you get looped into things and there's scams and timeshares and all this kind of stuff. So you're like, but if I'm just supposed to drop all my plans right now to run to New Mexico. But they did. They very quickly
Which
did.
I love Whoopi Goldberg's response to like her daughter being like, "It's probably a scam." Oh, good, a scam. She was happy about it.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg.
Would you guys do it?
Would I do the
give you a
race?
silver key.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd go for
somebody's
it.
give you a silver key and be like, if an eccentric white man came up to you and was like, "Here's a key, go here. There's $2 million."
No, that's not how it happened.
What?
A group of us all got together, and one white dude told all of us, "Hey, each of you have a key, and there's $2 million waiting in a safe somewhere. Like all you have to do is go and get it." Then yeah, I'd be like, "Okay, all of us are in on it. Let's go."
Nowadays we have Google, so I would have to Google the man to make sure he's actually a billionaire, and then
do that on the
would
way.
inform
You got to do that on the way because you're wasting
You
time.
can just turn around.
You got to
You can-
move.
If he's not, you could just turn around and be like, "Oh, he's not a billionaire. Okay." Let me go
Especially
back
when
to
they're
my
waiting
hotel."
for the elevator and John Lovitz is like, it's probably stuck. I'm just going to take the stairs. I was like, you son of a bitch. Just get down the
They
stairs.
all start jogging for it. Yeah. I love how was it who threw themselves at everybody? I think it was the brother with the infected tongue ring. He like threw himself at the whole group to stop everybody or attempt to slow people down, and then they ended up all just landing on top of each other.
The brothers, they were ruthless. they
For real, they had
held
no
nothing
remorse.
back.
But they're also
Yeah.
idiots because he's just like, we
Very
can't tell
much so.
anybody about this this fake. We can't tell anyone about this $2 billion. You know what I mean? We only
Right
got
in front
the
of
one
the
key.
guy
It's
who's-
just, like in front of the key smith, it's like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Don't say that.
Which the Keith Smith was the guy from Grimm, which is that where I was like really shocked to see him. I love watching older movies and like seeing actors you know so well this day, which again goes back into the writers and actors strike. See how that was a background character, a minor character, and how he became, part of the Grimm series. It was just funny to see him, and I was like really confused for a second.
Hell, you want to talk about weird background characters? Kathy Bates. She wasn't even in the billing at all. She's in this movie as the squirrel lady, and she wasn't even in the billing at all. They didn't see like, hey, Kathy Bates. And I don't know if maybe she wasn't famous at this time, but as soon as I saw her, I was like,
she must.
And
he has to be. I feel like
absolutely
she had done Misery at that point, right?
Misery was back in the 90s.
Yeah, so she had to have been famous by that, and I'm surprised that
she won an Academy Award in 1990.
Yeah, so she had to have been like. It's weird that she's just in this movie and they don't really talk about it.
Maybe she just did one of those things where like she walked on set and she's like, "Hey, I want to be in this movie." And they're like, "It's Kathy Bates." We're gonna say yeah.
Also, Steve Martin plays an air traffic controller.
Oh,
and he's
wow,
uncredited.
What?
Real deep cameo.
Yeah, I think it might just be voiceover. But
that's
it says
true.
uncredited.
It could be.
Yeah.
But it's just, although that she was insane because it's like, I love that you see the pile of cars. She's done this to multiple people. Talking about, you should have bought a squirrel.
that was always one of my favorite scenes in the movie, but it was always the one that made me the most frustrated. I'm like, darn you, squirrel lady.
Like, listen, if you're like, first of all, why are you selling squirrels? Nobody wants a squirrel as a pet except you, I guess.
And also, where did you get these squirrels from?
Right, she's kidnapping squirrels.
Right, this is like squirrel prostitution. Like, you can't just capture squirrels and just sell them to anybody. And unsuccessful squirrel prostitution at that. She's not even doing a good job.
Squirrel prostitution. Oh, that's
homie, you like these nuts? All right.
Jesus. Both of you need Jesus.
But I love that plot. I do think the cool thing is like how realistic like their access to vehicles was. You know what I mean? Because it's not like, granted, their ability to steal vehicles is very like weird for some of them. Cause like I could like Cuba Gooding Jr. He just like the bus was already running. He just got in and started it up, or I already had the keys in it. So sure. How the hell did they steal the Nazi mobile? Did it just have the keys in it? Because I highly doubt a museum piece that's just supposed to be sitting there has the keys just in it and gas.
And why would they that too? And why would they just have Hitler's car sitting in the parking lot?
In the parking lot. Shouldn't that be in the museum?
Shouldn't that still be in Germany or something, or Austria?
Right.
What is he doing in New Mexico? I mean, I'm sure he did.
But it's just
Hitler had multiple cars, just, for everybody's reference. It's like those producers.
Which team's storyline was your favorite?
The family. I love John Lovett so much. He's just so funny.
Yeah.
He was my favorite, even though the Hitler joke when he like has the thing on his mouth and he's like his throat is all messed up. I was like, I mean, this one, I'm not feeling this joke as much, but
to a group of veterans.
Like that's what it like.
Yeah, to a group of World War II veterans at that.
Uh-huh.
But I did love their story, and I love how the family got into it, like the kids and everything, especially when he has it made me laugh where he has the daughter like poop out the window. And she's like, I hate you so much. And then you see that's why I love the subtle comedy of like the cops pull them over and you see the cop in the background wiping the glass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, how fast was I going, officer? I'm like, you know good and goddamn well that's not the issue.
As he tries to bat his eyes.
Right. Dad, I'm prairie dogging.
Like,
What the hell
yeah.
does that mean?
Ugh. I see. That's the storyline I like the least. I found him so annoying. I found the whole family actually kind of annoying. And then he goes and drugs his family, and then I was like, I'm not
Listen,
a fan
that's
of that.
payback for Kathy and Jimmy headbutting him in the car when their daughter.
That's what happens when you get a little stir crazy. All right, pull the car over. But then if
I'm
you
like,
pull
you're
the
trying
car
to kill
over, you
all
might
of
have-
us in this vehicle?
You,
What's wrong with you?
I mean, sometimes you just have to. You just have to grab that wheel and turn it really hard. And that's why you should also always wear your seatbelts, people.
I did like
And
Breckenmeyer too, though, and Amy Smart. I thought I'd like the only because Amy Smart is hilarious. She's insane. She's a
And the funny
crazy
thing
woman.
is, it's such a dichotomy because at first she starts off like all chill and cool and like the cool girl,
Very
and
sweet.
this mysterious, yeah. And then when she flies that helicopter and sees her boyfriend cheating on her, she ruins her life and career.
Yeah, she's like, I broke 15 federal laws. A lot of property damage. I
also
like
like-
Blaine and
Oh, sorry.
Dwayne's. I think they're my favorite, just because they are fucking insane. They're just chaos, and I like at the beginning when they're talking about when they're trying to come up with their scam of him falling down the steps. He's like, "Well, why do I have to do it?" He's like, "Because we need a witness, and I can't even understand you half the time, and I'm your brother." And then he's like, "I might break my neck." He's like, "That's a risk I'm willing to take."
Seth Green is so good at playing the jerk dude, the unlikable
Yeah.
douchebag. He's really good at that.
I am wondering though if this is where Seth Green and Breckenmeyer became friends, because they're really great friends in real life, and in fact they do Robot Chicken together.
Is that still going?
Mm-hmm. Most
Probably.
of their and
Really?
most of the voices are them, like Seth Green and Breckenmeyer doing a lot of the voices for a lot of the characters. And so it's like, I wonder if this was the start of that, of their relationship, of being like, man, you're a really cool guy. You want to like make a show together?
Maybe. When did Robot Chicken
And they're both
start?
the same age.
Aw, they were like brothers in real life. But I like how they tried to take down the air controller thing too, because that plan was going to work in general.
I need a physics person to tell me if that's how that would work. If it could pull up an entire truck like that.
Yeah.
I would doubt.
You know,
Like
it
the
can.
cable would break, or at some point it would just get stuck.
No, it could pull it up just like it show, like it's just winding it up, kind of like when you do with yarn and you're just pulling something up. It depends on how much traction the car could actually get to like hold it back and which one would snap first. Most likely it would have pulled off the rear bumper and where it was holding the cable. That's more likely to happen. But unless they have a really, really good bumper and a really good car, which looking at it, it was like an old car. So, and older cars were built differently than today's cars. They were built more solid and to hold firm. But it also looked like just a shitty car. So I feel like, if anything, the back of the car should have just been ripped off.
Yeah, that's what I thought, is something like that. Also, I stand corrected. Matthew Senreich is who made Robot Chicken with Seth Green, but Breckenmeyer does do a lot of voices for Robot Chicken, nonetheless, and they are really good friends. But yeah, it's just seeing the antenna spin it around. I was just like, is it that strong? I mean, I know it's built very tough, of course, to withstand like damage and like wind damage and all types of other stuff. But like in my head, I just didn't think it was that strong to pull up an entire vehicle. Although I love how he's freaking out because the truck's coming up the ladder. I'm like, just jump down. It's not that far. You could literally get onto the car and then get in the seat. Worst case scenario, you just stand on the top of the car. What are you freaking out about? It's
This
your brother
guy
who should
pierces
freak
his
out
own
more.
tongue. Do you really think he has the like whereabouts to do that, to jump properly onto the car to get into the seat? The man pierces his own tongue, and they show out throughout the show how it's all black. Don't bring logic into that.
Also, how did they not get arrested? Because they had one of the air traffic people looking
Saw
at
them.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in the next scene, they're getting a rental car.
Oh, I guarantee you, by the end of that Smash Mouth concert, all of them were arrested in some way, shape, or form. All of
Yeah, they
them were
all
absent. One
Well,
stole a rocket car. Another one feared with whole international airport.
stole Hitler's
There's
car.
stole Hitler's car. Tried to kill her ex-boyfriend with a helicopter. So, like, all of them are going
Stole
to jail.
a charter bus full of I Love Lucy impersonators.
yeah.
And then abandoned the I Love Lucy impersonators in the middle of the desert.
That's not true.
Rowan
They
Atkinson
chased
was
him
really
to
the only
death.
one who.
Also, they're guilty. Okay, they're guilty of destroying their own bus. All right,
I
because
know.
all they
Yeah,
had to do
sure.
was let him change the tire. They didn't need to help at all. They didn't need to do anything.
Why were they rolling it down the highway?
Right? What are you doing? We're not even ready for the tire yet. I haven't even gotten the other tire off yet. Y'all
That's
just
true.
do nothing. How
Well,
about that?
they were Lucy.
And the one Lucy started the fire on the bus.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose, though. That one wasn't on purpose. That was
The
an
cigarette
accident.
caught her wig.
Although I like you talking about jokes that also maybe wouldn't sail well in modern day. That joke
I know
about
what
the
you're
I
about to
Love
say.
Lucy, the trans I Love Lucy person, or drag I Love Lucy, like that joke would not land today. There are a lot of people who would have issues with that joke. I mean, I think it's funny, but just because I know what it was like in the 2000s.
I think it was funny in a way, but nowadays it would be like, oh, I assumed most of these people on the bus doing the I Love Lucy were in drag. I'd be more shocked to find a woman doing that. Honestly, be like,
I read that the director, because the director of this is the same person, Jerry Zucker. He directed Airplane, and Ghost as well. He puts his mom in ever since Airplane. He put his mom in every single movie of his, and in this movie, his mom was one of the Lucy impersonators.
oh, that's kind of sweet.
Interesting.
I know, isn't that sweet?
Oh, that is really sweet.
Yeah. The other joke I was thinking that actually before I say that, I think my favorite duo, I did like Breckenmeyer and Amy Smart because they kind of went on more of a journey. At first, he didn't, want to be involved in the race, and then theirs was kind of a slow burn. They met, and then it's like, oh, yeah, you have a helicopter. We're racing for $2 million. Let's do this. I also did like the mother-daughter. But watching it this time, I realized that they didn't have as much screen time as I remembered. Or I feel like as a lot of the other groups, them and Rowan Atkinson, I feel like they are the two groups with.
I'm glad
probably
Rowan
the least
Atkinson
amount of
didn't have
screen.
time. I got tired of him real quick.
Why?
All right, I don't.
Yeah, me too.
The so over dramatic, like it's the same thing with the blackening for me, where I'm like, everybody else is being a person. What are you doing? Like, what is happening? I know you're Rowan Atkinson, but for God's sake, like, can you tone it down a little bit? Nobody foreign is this aloof. You know what I'm saying? Like it's to a point where everybody else is real people and he's a cartoon character. And I know you're Mr. Bean, but this ain't a Mr. Bean movie.
You're saying the guy with the tongue piercing, Blaine, that's a real person too?
At least there's a reason. There's no reason
did
why
it
Rowan
himself.
Atkinson is weird. He's just weird because they're like, he's a weirdo. He's
Hey, he has
Italian. Isn't that
narcolepsy.
weird?
All right.
Yeah, a very unrealistic narcolepsy, by the way, because nobody falls asleep standing up. You would fall.
Also, there's triggers for narcolepsy. What was his trigger? It just all of a sudden happened.
That too.
And that was also his way of travel after the planes couldn't take off. Why did nobody think about a train? Because the
Yeah.
train led
True.
right to the station where the bag was. I thought about that when he got there. I was
I
like,
know
oh,
he
they could have
got
taken a
off the train
train.
and literally walked right into the movie.
Although I refuse to believe, if we're
Yeah.
not going to give Bullet Train the time of day to be like, yeah, you could definitely just hop on a Bullet Train, Rowan Atkinson should be missed when he tried to jump on that train. just the second it came out, like missed, and that's it. Because there's no way you could jump off a moving train that's moving that fast and grab on and catch it. It's not possible. And then on top of that, not only catch that train, get in the train and take a seat.
There's also
I don't think it's realistic after that guy also, what was his name? The postman or the heart transplant guy, he grabbed the electric fence
The
and the heart
electric
started
fence.
beating in his hand.
Yeah, that's true. That is
Hearts.
weird. It's like, what the hell?
Also unrealistic is them getting in the rocket and the bullet going alongside of them, and they're moving as fast as the bullet, because the bullet, I've read somewhere, the bullet is only in the air as long as it takes to like drop a bullet from that height. Like it would be in the air the same amount of time.
Right.
So
it doesn't go
wouldn't
straight forward. It goes down like this. That's the trajectory of a
Right.
bullet.
Right.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be in the air for that long that they could ride alongside.
How about also it wouldn't be going that fast? If they're supposed to be going close to Mach 1 speed, bullets aren't that fast. Bullets are fast. They're not Mach 1 fast.
It's weird that they give the ones who they gave the most least screen time to, they gave the most unpredictable circumstances to.
It's true.
When they got on, so this was gonna lead me into another thing that wouldn't fly today. When they got on the bus with like the adults with mental disabilities,
Mental issues, yeah.
And the daughter says, "We're not crazy people." I don't think that would fly today. I think the whole scene wouldn't fly.
Well, that's the thing. Was it that they had mental disabilities, or were they from like? I had thought they were from like a ward, like a psychiatric ward or something like that.
Yeah,
Not that
they were from a psychiatric ward.
Yeah, I didn't think that they had mental I mean, I guess arguably it is the same one and the same.
Yeah,
but it's just like, there's
also,
difference.
How do you not know what patients you have?
That too. They just let them
Right.
on the bus. They don't even know that they're their patients.
So, like,
Right.
that was also another thing. And then when a patient is violent, you're just like, okay, fine, get off the bus.
Right.
Right. You don't got no guards. You don't got no backup.
Nothing.
This
You're just
doesn't
like, all right,
happen?
fine. Let the people you think are clinically insane get off the bus after they've acted violent towards you. That's safe for everybody.
My kind of switching. Oh, sorry. Were you gonna say something?
Oh, just like I thought the Cuba Gooding Jr. story though was actually very interesting. I thought that was neat because normally it'd be like maybe he's a football player who threw a game or something like that or messed up. But it's interesting to have it where it's a ref instead. Even though that doesn't really come up much after like halfway through the movie. They're kind of like done with that plot point.
Dropped him in the desert. He's abandoned in the desert with no clothes or anything. Then they're like, all right, he suffered enough for his sins.
I love that they addressed that the sand would be hot. Because most movies would ignore that and they'd just be like, yeah, they're just walking. It's like, no, the sand would be burning hot. It'd be like walking on hot concrete.
Right. Which apparently they filmed those scenes in Canada. The scenes where they're in the desert, they filmed in Canada. They didn't want to film in Vegas because they were filming in the summertime and it would be scorching hot.
Yeah.
So they filmed those scenes
makes
in
sense.
Canada during the summer. Yeah.
Whew.
My favorite cameo in this film is Gloria Allred, because she just shows up anytime someone gets injured and she's like, "Don't worry, stay there. I'm gonna get you a lot of money."
I love, Wayne Knight.
Oh,
that joke made me laugh. He's like, "Oh shit, it's Gloria Allred. Get in the thing."
I had forgot about that. That was funny.
I actually did like. I loved he was just like, "Got any family? huh? He's like, no, I don't have any family. It's like, you don't have a mother or father? Any siblings? It's like, no. It's like, why do you ask? And I love that. I'm like, Rowan Atkinson in this movie is clearly an idiot. But he was smart enough to pick up on that one because he was like, ooh, look over there.
There's
like,
a drifter we can kill.
There's a drifter we can kill. It's like, yeah.
But then it works out for Wayne Knight because he ends up restarting the heart.
I guess.
Well, no.
My thing is, I'm like, why are you acting like this is like a piece of gold or something? He's like, you want to see the heart? I'm like, no. Why would I want to see that?
I won't lie. I would say yes. I would want to see the heart. You wouldn't want to see the heart?
No. I don't want to see any organs that aren't inside of a human body.
You want to see the person instead?
I'd rather talk to a person. Yeah, sure.
No, I meant you want to see the organs when they're still inside the person, the dead person.
At least then they're exactly where they're supposed to be, not outside. He's talking about, well, the heart needs to get some air. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It gets oxygen from blood in the body.
Jonathan, if somebody was like, hey, I have a heart in a cooler, a medical transport person, this isn't
he's barely a medical transport person.
If somebody who's legally having this heart, legally had the heart and was like, do you want to see it? Would you see it? I say that because I know how I say things. Trying to cover that base.
It would depend on the context. Like, am I in a rush? Do I have time? I don't know. I would have to think about that.
So you have time. You have time. You don't know this person very well though, but you're like you know them enough. Yeah.
Well, that would be a red flag then. Like, why are they trying to? If I don't know them, why are they trying to show me this thing?
I thought for sure he's gonna be because you don't see the lifeline thing on the van very clearly when he first picks up Rowan Atkinson. So I thought he was gonna be like a serial killer or something.
I thought he was UPS at first.
Because he's going to be like, you know what I got in the back? What do you got? He's like, why don't you take a look? And then it's a body, and he's like, oh my God.
I think that would have gone too dark.
Maybe? Too dark for the movie in which a bunch of Jewish people go to a Nazi museum and then steal the Hitler mobile?
That's why I'm like, this movie could technically still be made today, except for his whole plot line. His whole storyline is just fucked up after one thing after another. But you're right, people still hate Nazis today. So Nazis getting embarrassed in this film. Maybe the speech in front of the World War II vets, not great. And maybe him drugging his family, not okay. Those two can stay out.
Although I have to say the Smash Mouth thing dates this movie immensely.
I think it preserves it in a way. It's like, I think it makes it great because it's like Smash Mouth is so uniquely 2000s.
We just said the same thing. You're just trying to make it a positive, all right? This dates this movie.
No, not only that. Not only is it Smash Mouth, it's Smash Mouth Feed the Earth. It is a benefit concert that you don't really see nowadays. So it is a benefit concert headlining Smash Mouth. That screams 2000s, and they even got jackets.
So basically, they all meet up. They all are racing in Silver City, and they all end up getting to the safe. They open it. It's not there, and
jilted butler. Think you can call him.
And his prostitute tried to steal the money.
They tried to steal the money.
Or escort. I'm sorry, escort.
Escort,
to steal the money.
They tried to. Well, in the movie, they just straight up called her a hooker.
A hooker is what you call them when you're trying to insult them. They are an escort because that is their profession. They are professionals.
Escorts are when they're alive. When they're dead, they're hookers.
I love that movie.
Can either of you tell me where that's a line from?
That's from Archer.
There you go. I just need somebody else to I just need somebody else to say that too, so it doesn't just look out here like I'm insulting, escorts or anything.
One of my favorite Archer episodes. One of the first ones from the first season too.
Yeah, it's from the first episode.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's one of the ones I will still quote with my mom. I could like call her up and say that exact line to her because she loves it too.
I love the dolphin bit. That's still my favorite part of that first episode. Well,
Yeah.
fuck your dolphin, Pam. Fuck you and your dolphin.
That's how you get
All of
ants.
this is going over my head.
Yeah,
Do you
that's how
want
you get ants.
Because that's how you get
Like,
ants.
is that
Well,
how
you
get
need to
ants?
watch Archer, sir, because there are
Okay.
so many great lines in that. It's just a good, like, there are so many great one-liners in just the first episode alone. So you're gonna have to go back and watch that.
My
So we
favorite
can-
line of all Archer history is, "I will straight flush your brains at the back of your skull." I like that's the greatest insult anybody could give at a poker game.
I love how much I want to get an ocelot because of him.
Oh yeah,
Ocelot.
like is it Babu?
It's I don't remember what it's called, but I just saw a clip with it and him and the ocelot at the last time. He's like, "I saved you, but it was totally worth it for all the bite legs." And the little cat's going, "Huh?" And he's like, "No, that was sarcasm. It's not worth it." Anyway, back to the movie. So.
Anyway, so they all end up catching the escort and Mr. What's his name?
I don't
The
recall.
guy-
Mr. Belvedere. I don't know.
Belvedere.
I would call him
That's
Higgins.
I was going.
That's definitely not his name. Sinclair, Douglas P.
Sinclair.
Donald P. Sinclair. Yeah,
No, wait. Sorry, Sinclair's
that's the rich guy,
Grisham.
right?
No, they end up
the
catching
butler.
his. Yeah,
Oh,
Grisham.
Grisham.
Harold
Grisham.
Harold Grisham.
They end up catching them.
Also, he's not a
but-
butler; he's an attorney. So,
Yeah, but he acts as a butler though, pretty much.
He acts as a butler.
They end up getting the money away from them, and they get the money, but they also end up getting on stage with Smash Mouth, and Smash Mouth is like, "Wow, what's all this?" And they're like, "We're splitting $2 million," and Smash Mouth is like, $2 million, and then you find out that it's a benefit concert for Feed the Children.
which I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. A piece of me would have also been like Seth Green, but instead of getting change of heart, I would just like left.
Walked
But, like,
off.
Damn, y'all, you know what I went through to get this money? Okay, I've committed many felonies to get here. I am taking this money.
You would have become the most.
would have done
That,
what the mom did. Just these are good. These hide things. Put a little
oh yeah,
in
just
there.
put a
turn
couple
around.
in here.
Yeah, just put a couple stacks in there. Adjust while everybody's distracted by everything else, and drop what I got in my hands. There you go.
If you did the Seth Green approach, Jerome, and if it's televised, you become the most hated person in America.
Listen, it'd be like that Monique meme. You ever seen that on TikTok? Like, bitch, fuck them kids and fuck you too. I'm taking this money. There's my F-bomb
like, no.
allotment. I've already I've tapped out at 4.
I'm so proud of you. Usually it's me.
But that's what I'd be like. I'd be like, I don't care about these children. Let them starve. All right. If God wanted them fed, He would have given them food. I'm taking this money.
And they literally brought a
All
child
views
out.
and opinions
Yeah,
expressed by
brought-
Jerome do not reflect the First Ones to Die
I mean,
podcast.
I wish
I
some
don't know.
movie
I'm
would
kinda,
have write that
like,
line.
fuck
I
the
really wish a
children.
movie would put that line in there. God, what the
I'm sorry, but I'm also on the side of fuck the children. So like,
All views expressed by Alex and Jerome do not reflect.
These are all jokes, ladies and gentlemen. These are all jokes. We do wish that all of the hungry children of the world can be fed and taken care of as they should be, because they are innocent souls. But I'm just saying, I probably, like, I don't know, a piece of me would be like, look, just take a stack, just take a dub. Let me have a dub. Let me have a dub.
see, that's what
That's
I said. I would
$20.
just
Let me have a
hide stuff.
thou. Let me have just one G. Just one. That's all I need. I don't need much. It's $1,000. $2,000 if you're really nice.
Each stack's got to be like 1,000, right? I could hide 2,000 on my person very quickly.
I mean, that's not a bad. I mean, Cuba Gooding Jr. He had a stack left in his pants that he could have just left there because he was like, oh, I forgot about this one, but he could have just left that nobody would have known.
It's true. I like, although the comeuppance that the rich people get, where he's like, yeah, they're gonna match everything you raised tonight, and then the number is trickling up. I'm like, there is no way anybody is giving that much money for it to now start hitting the double digits of millions. You know how I know? Because nobody in America cares that much. Not enough people in this country care that much about the starving children. They don't even want to give a quarter, just a quarter a day to save these kids.
For the price of
they're not going to give thousands upon thousands of dollars.
You never know. Back in the early 2000s, the 90s, we had,
I don't know, we had to keep having benefit concerts for that reason.
Well, we had We Are the World. We had Live Aid. We had
I mean, these are all true benefit concerts, but here's the thing, Jonathan. That was also the start. The 2000s was the start of the for only a quarter a day, you too could feed little Mbutu and his family. That's the start of that. You know what I'm saying?
That was funny. I'll give you that. That was real funny.
I just like, that's my thing, is I'm just like, this is like this is the most unrealistic part of the movie for me, and that says a lot because there's been a lot of unrealistic things this whole film.
Not the cow hanging out for like miles and miles through a hot air balloon upside down, still alive.
Right. The cow.
How about the fact that the milk comes out like a fire hose when Seth Green shoots it at the dude's face? Which is not how udders work. It comes out that way, but you gotta press it. You gotta like actually milk it. You can't just hold it just like a faucet.
Right, you gotta squeeze.
Has anybody ever tried to just like? No, I'm not gonna. I think I should. Let's move on. No, I feel like this is gonna get worse.
But for
real
that
quick,
scene when they're
oh no, go
I was just gonna say that scene when they're getting chased by the car that doesn't have anybody in it. I remember watching. I think it was either. Remember when DVDs had the commentary with like the director or cast members on it? You like watch the movie and it would have commentary with the director. I think I remember watching that, and I remember that the car, they had someone like driving in it, but they just like cut out a hole for the person's head in the seat, so it looked like nobody was driving it. But yeah, that's how they did that for the movie. I was gonna ask, what was your guys' favorite scene where you had the millionaires, because these millionaires and billionaires are essentially betting on the people who's
making a bunch of bets the whole time,
making random bets throughout the whole movie. What was your favorite bet that they made during the movie?
The maids when they were
hanging
up on the curtains. I'm like, that's some cold shit. They just got them hanging up there.
Which one will survive?
I am surprised. It reminded me of the American Dad episode where they have that like Principal Lewis is betting on it's two kids coloring, and it's like betting on who's gonna be the first to go outside the lines.
And the parents are like, I don't think this is the right preschool for Susie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he originally in that episode he was betting on like the Steve's wrestling match, and the dad was like, how'd you find somebody to bet on a wrestling match? He's like, you can find anybody to bet on anything if you want. And it's like, this movie kind of like proves that point. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed the escort one because it was creative in their suggestions, and two, I just like the way they all like popped out too, because some of them were out of nowhere. Some of them were straight up hunched over behind the couch or something, and they just get up. Like, think about a millionaire just like curled up behind the couch listening.
I was just like, this is a weird side scene. Like, why are they what's up with this scene? But no, it was a bet.
You know, some of the criticism Squid Games got was how they represented billionaires and the rich, and they're like, oh, it's unrealistic because they're portraying them as like these unhinged, savage animals, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. I was like, what race did that? These billionaires were not like exquisite or like prop or anything. They were like hunching over stuff, hiding things, or getting
They're
upset,
like
claiming
children.
and eating yeah. And it showed them in that exact way where it's like, you have too much money, you clearly don't know what to do with it, so now you're just playing with people's lives like that, taking ridiculous bets and like just like doing all this stuff. Yeah.
Apparently, it says Sinclair and the gambler's eccentric habits are further exaggerated in deleted scenes where they partake in many more ridiculous bets, including playing Monopoly with real money. In another scene, a high roller pretends to find what they are doing immoral. Professional wrestler Diamond Dallas Page and his wife Kimberly had a cameo that was cut when the test audiences failed to give his appearance any reaction. Oh, okay, so that's just a different thing. Yeah, I think it's better that like none of them find what they're doing immoral or does not care. They're like, whatever. So check it out. We've got what's it called? Technically 7 people to cast. Who are we casting?
Oh, for a reboot?
In Rat Race 2023, like edition, like a reboot.
And it's the same characters.
Same characters.
Well,
just new.
John Cleese can still
new
play
actors.
John Cleese.
He is still alive.
Okay.
He could
He's
still
still
do
alive.
it.
He's still acting. He's still going.
Okay, so we got John Cleese back as Donald P. Sinclair. Who are like the new Rat Race contestants?
I have.
I'm putting Sinqua Walls in the race as the Cuba Gooding Jr. character.
Okay. Maybe Tracy, Amy Smart, can be Margot Robbie.
Ooh, I can see that. That's a good pick. It's a good pick. She could definitely do the crazy, like, thing, but pretty decent. Yeah.
Alex, are you making a list?
I'm trying to like look for. I don't remember actors and actresses very well, so I have to look up the ones I want. The actress I'm trying to think of, but I can't remember her name. She actually played in Abbott Elementary as the mom that came to
Taraji P. Henson?
Oh, Taraji P. Henson?
Yeah, I want her in there. Because when she plays comedy, she plays comedy amazingly. Yeah, she could probably do a Whoopi Goldberg. I love her. Anytime she does comedy, it's amazing.
I'm making a list. Hold on. So we got Sinqua Walls as Cuba. We're just gonna put Cuba. We got Margot Robbie as Amy.
And then if we do in Taraji P. Henson, I'm gonna say Keke Palmer as Meryl, the daughter.
Do you think she's young enough?
Yeah, she's a businesswoman.
Yeah, because the other one wasn't very young either.
Keke Palmer is
we can just find whatever generic white man to play the other generic white man.
Well, no, we gotta pick one. We gotta pick, and we have a bunch of them to pick. Actually,
we could also do race swapping for Rowan Atkinson. Who's goofy like that? Who's a goofy actor? I don't
Max
know,
Greenfield for that one, the generic white man. I just like Max Greenfield.
What the hell is Max Greenfield?
From New Girl?
He's from New Girl. He's Schmidt.
Oh! You know what though? Breckenmeyer's likable though. I feel like Max Greenfield is like he's too smarmy. He's too good looking. We need somebody who could be like the everyman. You know, like a Jake Johnson or somebody. Not Jake Johnson for this particular scenario we're saying, but somebody like him. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's Tom Holland would be too young, right? Because he's an attorney.
Tom Holland would be too big. Yeah. And too big right now.
Oh, and too big for the movie.
We'll come back to it. What about the brothers? We got Dwayne and Blaine.
Zac Efron for some reason. I'm thinking he could be one of the brothers for some.
I could
see him in a movie like this.
Who does he play? Which one?
Seth Green.
Yeah.
I couldn't see him playing the other guy.
You got Zac Efron as Blaine. We'll figure out who plays Dwayne. I'm trying to look at all the characters so I make sure I don't miss anybody.
Right. I'm trying to think who.
Oh, I finally see the Napoleon.
Oh, sorry. Dwayne is the Seth Green character. My bad. So Zac Efron's Dwayne. We're looking for someone to play Blaine.
Blaine. Who would be Blaine? It has to be someone who can do goofy.
Chris Pine?
I've never seen. Can Chris
I
Pine
refuse to do anything with Chris Pine. You will strike
Chris
him from
Pine?
any.
Are you thinking Chris Pratt?
No, Chris Pine. Have you seen him in
No. Oh,
like
I thought you
Smoking
were
Aces?
saying Chris Pratt too. I was thinking that.
No, Chris
That's why I
Pine.
was
Did
like,
you
oh,
know
Chris
what I
Pine.
said?
No, I
In,
No,
I knew what you
apparently
were
not.
Smoking
saying.
Aces.
I
He
usually
can be very funny.
I
if
usually
he
think
like
of
it
Chris
could be
Pine
goofy.
as like serious. I know who you're talking about, Dungeons and Dragons,
I
but
don't think he would
That
do
too.
the. No, I could see him. Well,
Although
could
this
he
is a
be
character who
the
doesn't
generic white
talk.
guy? Yeah.
Although yes, I could actually see him in the Breckenmeyer role.
oh yeah, Chris Pine, I can see in that
Although
role.
he might
Yeah.
be a little too older now because he's in like his Silver Fox era going on. He's getting his gray
True.
hair.
Yeah, he is older now.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Still looking good.
Yeah, I mean, he's still taking great care of himself.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
Ooh,
is.
maybe. Ooh, you know who I can see as the brother? The guy. What's his name? Will Poulter. Will Poulter.
Yeah, I could see that. I think Zac Efron and him would have great chemistry.
Yeah.
We'll do Will Poulter.
Cause he can be goofy. I feel like.
So the only people we're missing are Breckenmeyer's character and Randy. You know, John Lovett's character so far.
John Lovitz. Ooh.
Randy. I can't remember him now.
That's John Lovett's character, the family man. Yeah.
I think honestly, his family would have just been straight up stricken. His whole plot line would not be in.
Cut their plot from the movie.
I think
Make
that
a
plot
new-
line just needs to.
No,
Although
I
I
think it
think
works
that
to have
would
like a
be-
family
Ooh.
man. You could just redo it. You could just change it. You know.
Maybe we can make them.
I
maybe we can
think
make them like
the
an Asian
the
family
race swap.
or
Yeah, I was thinking
or
that's
like a
the family
Latin
to race swap.
family or something. Yeah.
Well, we could do Latin, or we could do Asian, or maybe a mix of
Yeah.
both. That's the couple. Is like an Asian man, Latino wife, or vice versa, whatever.
No, you're really just mixing it all in there.
I mean, listen, trying to get some Asian representation in there.
Just make that a blended family.
No, wait. I know who plays the Breckenmeyer character, Stephen Yeun. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
can see that.
Yeah, Steven Yeun in anything.
He'd be great in that role. He'd be really good.
That means the family has to be Latin.
So
yeah.
he's married to a Latino. You're gonna be hard to find some kids mixed looking like that. Honestly,
Listen, that's for the casting director to figure out. All right, we're doing the main cast right now.
fair enough.
I have also Randy and Randy's wife, because Kathy and Jimmy's famous too. So I was like, who's gonna play the Kathy and Jimmy? Like, who's gonna because that pairing needs to be
Selma
important
Hayek.
too. Of like
Salma Hayek and what about Pedro Pascal?
that, I would love this. I would pay to see that pairing. So Selma Hayek and
think
Pedro
they
Pascal.
would be hilarious
They
together.
would be hilarious together.
They
Okay,
would be
so
so funny.
So
Dang,
okay,
y'all got me excited for a movie that doesn't exist.
it doesn't exist, right? So
It's because
here's
as actors and actresses, we would just love to see work in a project together.
Right.
So here's what we got. We got Sinqual Walls as Cube's character as the ref, or Owen. That was his name. So as Sinqual Walls as Owen. We got Margot Robbie as Amy, which that would be weird seeing Margot Robbie and Stephen Yeun as like a romantic pairing.
Oh yeah, I'd watch it though.
I could see it. Yeah, no, I'd see it.
Yeah, but Margot Robbie is Amy. We got Taraji P. Henson as her name was Vera, right? Yeah, Vera Baker.
Vera.
We've got Kiki Palmer as as Meryl. We've got Zac Efron as Dwayne and Will Poulter as Blaine. We've got Stephen Yeun as white man, Nicholas.
Nick.
We can change his name though. He doesn't have to be Nicholas, but like it's Stephen Yeun and Pedro Pascal and Selma Hayek. Even though the character's name was Randy, but I don't know. We changed it to something that's more Latino.
Don't be
More
racist.
Hispanic.
Mexicans can be named, or no, Latino people can
Randy.
be named Randy. Probably
Do you-
not that way because the way I understand the way I'm saying it doesn't sound.
I'm about to say, I don't know if there is. I don't know if they'd be named Randy. As long as he's
Probably
not
not
named
Randy.
Hector, we'll be okay. That's the
too far.
stereotypical name. Yeah, as long as he's not Hector, it's all good. I can just see that would be this would be a fun movie. I want to see this movie now.
Yeah. That would be a lot of fun.
Producers, get
What
your
really-
shit together and go back to the table so we can make this movie happen and get the actors back.
No
in.
kidding. The actors
What
and
would be-
screenwriters. I honestly just want to see a project now with Salma Hayek and Pedro Pascal. Those two would just be fantastic together. The energy that they would like have, I think would just be great. I don't care what the project is.
That would be fun. That would be fun to see. What would be their storyline if we weren't getting the Hitler storyline? What would be their? What would they stumble upon?
Ice.
They are getting
stereotypes.
They
The
are
Jewish
getting mighty
family with
close to the
Hitler?
border, so it's going to New
Some
Mexico.
of those show me paper laws still are in effect. You know, that's why I'm not willing to travel down to Arizona or Florida at the moment. We're gonna be real to the movie to real life.
Right.
Ice. There's a whole museum on the border towns. I don't know.
Who do we
so
say
fucked
was
up
the
movie.
Rowan Atkinson character again?
Oh, we didn't actually cast them. That I forgot
Oh.
about Rowan Atkinson. So yeah, we still got to do Enrico or whatever.
Do we?
You know
does he
what's
have to be
ironic? I can
Italian?
see Pedro Pascal playing that character too. Because he did such a good job on SNL for some of those characters. I can see him playing him
yeah.
like the SNL characters he did.
Or maybe
We have to get somebody really
Sorry,
cartoony. I was just like somebody who's able to be really
this is
cartoony.
the run I will race swap, and I'm saying Kate McKinnon.
Oh, you mean gender swap?
Gender swap. Yes, thank you.
It's race and gender.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But Kate McKinnon, but as another foreign person, but I just
Okay, I can
But-
see that. I'm not mad at that.
I think there's a better option, but I could see it at the same time.
well, what are you thinking?
I could see it still more as a man, especially because they're traveling alone.
Hmm.
Got to factor in that too. It's a person just traveling alone.
Yeah,
rarely
but
see-
the whole idea is that they're also this character's extremely aloof. So I don't think them being alone would be really a factor for them, male or female, because they'd just be like, I'm on an adventure, whatever. like they wouldn't care.
I don't know. You kind of see it, but I still always say I think there might be a better option. I'm just not sure.
Well,
Not gonna lie.
we also have trying to think of who else would be pretty good. Colin Farrell. He can be goofy if he wants to be. He just isn't often.
There's also Jason Momoa. He was goofy in Fast X.
Jason Momoa would be interesting.
I would love to see him prance on screen and be like, "I'm here."
I mean, he's dedicated to comedy. Like, if he has to be funny, he will do it. I'm willing to take that cat. And also, it would be great play against type. You know, like because Rowan Atkinson's a very small, very like skinny guy. Be cool to have the complete opposite. This enormous man. Has this,
I
goofy
also
person.
love because he's not a lot in the story. I love when they get these like big name actors for these teeny tiny parts. And it's like, why'd you do that? Why would you do that? Is that it's like it makes the movie for some reason a little more fun though, because you see them, they're like, why would you just give them this part when it's like they're not getting any screen time?
We'll put Jason Momoa in there. Why not?
Who would be the band at the end? BTS.
Yeah.
Oh, the band? No, they're too high. They're too high level. We can't afford BTS.
We couldn't get them. We couldn't
get
Idiots.
them. No. Plus, they're not together right now anyway. Like a couple of them are in the military.
They're doing service. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Imagine Dragons. It has to be a band that's gonna solidify the time. It's Imagine Dragons.
Look,
I feel like
Imagine Dragons because
even now is not. They were very much 2010s.
Yeah, but Imagine Dragons, you can get them on the phone. Okay, what else are they doing? All right.
Imagine Dragons literally are on every show, especially now on Netflix. Somebody bought a song from them from everything. They have a song somewhere in some show. You'll find them.
It should be like Saweetie or somebody. Or
a hip hop, like a hip hop person that would be very topical too,
right? Or like Bad Bunny.
No, Jack Harlow.
Lizzo.
Jack Harlow.
Let's get Lizzo.
Jack Harlow or Lizzo, yeah.
I like. Okay, so we have some picks. Who are we going with?
I say Lizzo.
Okay, it could
Final-
be Lizzo. Yeah.
Final vote for Lizzo. Let's go. with
Because
Lizzo.
if this
Why?
movie ever somehow does come to light and we're able to ever make it, I want to meet Lizzo.
Also, let's be honest. If it is Lizzo, it either has to be Lizzo or Meg the Stallion. The reason why you think in this screwball comedy we're not going to have a scene where all the characters start twerking because Lizzo or Megan start twerking. All right, that's happening.
That is true.
And if we could get Jason Momoa to start twerking, all the ladies will appreciate.
that would be awesome.
Not wrong.
So it's Lizzo. We're going with Lizzo as the band at the end.
There we go.
All right, audience, make
We
the
cast an
poster.
amazing movie.
Make it
Wow.
happen. Make us the Rat Race poster with these actors.
At least if it's not this one, just have some sort of ensemble film with this cast of people.
Yes, please.
I'm
that'd be
dying now
fun.
for the Pedro Pascal, Salma Hayek.
Right.
Like, see, I want them in some kind of form of comedy together, because
Yeah.
that's gonna be great. I don't know how. Like some movie needs to be made with them. We need our actors and writers back. All right,
Right.
there's a movie that
Wait.
needs to be made.
And I was gonna say our celebrity cameo, Jenna Ortega.
There we go. As who,
I
the
still want to
squirrel
have
lady?
Steve Martin on
Yes,
there.
it's the squirrel lady.
I still want Steve Martin back, just for the
Yeah,
voices.
He can come back. He can come back.
He could be like one of the cops or something.
He could be one of the eccentric billionaires. I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if we can't get John Cleese, Steve Martin as the eccentric billionaire.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
I could see him shooting a gun in a room full of people, and I don't say that in the way it sounds, but in the way that in the movie.
Or we do, because Steve Martin and Martin Short are doing a lot of stuff together nowadays. It could be both of them, and it could be like a joint sort of role, you know.
Or you could have Steve Martin as the billionaire and Martin Short as Grisham.
Yeah, okay. There
Oh
we go.
yeah, that would be great.
There we go. It's
There
all
we go.
coming together.
Yeah,
all right?
Right.
Yeah, see, we got it.
Rat Race 2023. Or I guess I don't know if this movie is made next year.
It's
2024.
probably
This would come out in
2024
2025.
or
Yeah, it's going
2025.
2025. Yeah, so
Yeah.
2025 Rat Race. You heard it here first. This is the cast with plus cameos and special
Yeah.
music guests.
yes, exactly. That would be actually really fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. That'd be a fun movie. I'd like to watch that. That'd actually be a lot
Same.
of fun. If I could offer a swap out real quick though, or like an alternative, like if we can't get Margot Robbie, just because
I feel like she might be hard to get. Yeah.
in Black Mirror, Annie Murphy, she's available. I think she'd make a great Amy.
Actually, I think Annie Murphy would be a little bit better than Margot Robbie, honestly. Because
That would be a
Margot
good
Robbie's
pick.
great, but Annie Murphy's kind of got like more of a down to earth vibe to her.
And it'll
feel
be
like she
a,
could play
a
real chill.
reunion between her and Penelope Cruz. I mean, sorry, no, Salma Hayek.
Penelope, yeah,
Salma
Salma Hayek. I'm about
Hayek.
to say Penelope Cruz ain't
I
in
was
this
like,
movie
when-
unless she's like a cameo. She'll be like the Gloria Allred person, like hold the stay right there. I'll be there. Oh shit, it's Penelope Cruz. We gotta go.
There we go.
I
That's
could
Penelope
see
Cruz.
Penelope Cruz popping out of nowhere, and I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah, we could get more creative with the stuff too, because now we have more technology. We could do more things for like how they get to the location.
There
where
are
are they
so
trying
many
to-
more
True.
means of
So,
transportation too.
If they're starting in Vegas, where are they trying to get to?
Probably same place.
Silver City.
They probably could, because it's a desert. That's what's crazy about it. You don't know what's coming up in the desert. We would have to add the thought of social media. Somebody's TikToking their journey.
Right.
Somebody's being like, "Follow me as we go get this money."
That could be the
Right.
kids in the couple, like Pedro Pascal and Salma Hayek. The kids are the ones who are like on social media talking about it.
I think having the family aware of what's going on would any situation involving them would be a lot better than what was with that plot line, because he was just putting his family in danger and they had no idea why. They're like, "Why is dad acting so erratic? What's going on?"
Right.
Why
We
is Dad
don't want to
making
see
me
Pedro
poop out a
Pascal
window?
drug his kids.
That's
I
true. Well, we're
prefer
gonna
not, no.
cut the drugging the kids portion of the movie in the remake. We're doing something different.
Oh, from prior what we said, we do actually care about children.
Yeah. Well, that's our review of Rat Race 2001.
And casting for Rat Race 2025.
Yes.
Coming to a theater near you. Once the writer
Make it
strike
studios. Yes. Once everything comes together, make it happen. Right? Netflix, you could even put it on Netflix. We've already, once we're finished helping write Black Mirror season 7, boom. Let's work on Rat Race. All right. Except I kind of want this to have a theatrical release. I don't want it to just go to Netflix.
Yeah, no, it needs to go out in theaters. People need to see this. You know, they need to support.
Yeah. Yeah.
People back into the theaters.
Yeah. Comment below, audience. What did you think about Rat Race? If you've seen it, or if you have not seen it, are you interested now in watching it? Comment below. Tell us what you think about Rat Race and our thoughts, and share. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, you're listening to this on the audio side of things, email us at thefirstonestoDie@gmail.com or comment on any of our social media posts. And we want to hear what you think about things.
Yes, absolutely. Socials. Alex, where can we find you?
You can find me at Alex and Nobody on Instagram and on TikTok, as well as the podcast TikTok, The First Ones to Die, where I post little clips of stuff we've been doing, stuff we have done, and movies, shows, TVs, and other things we may be doing. Also, I post little clips of what I do during the day just because I get bored and like to share my lives with you people. And we are also now on Threads. That is a new one, and I haven't added that to our graphics yet. I should probably do that. Probably not this episode, but next episode, the new graphic will be added. But you can come find us there, interact with us, chat, leave comments, and, let us know if there's anything you'd like us to review on TikTok as well. What about you, Jerome? Where are we finding you?
You can find me at Jerome Rhett on Instagram, and also check out the YouTube channel for extra content that you can't get on the audio streaming platform. Stuff like mini reviews, gaming videos, book reviews. I was gonna say gaming reviews. I'm like, no, we don't do that. But book reviews,
not yet.
Gaming content, vlogs, and video versions of all of the podcasts. So if you want to see our beautiful faces and see what we're talking about, or sometimes when we have visuals in our episodes, like for our trivia episodes or other things, if you want to see what we're looking at, one way to check it out is to go on over to the YouTube channel at The First Ones to Die podcast, and you can do that. So, Jonathan.
Yes, you can find me at Jonathan Keys on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads, I guess now, wherever you please. You can follow us at The First Ones to Die on all of the social platforms, including Threads. Once again, you can you can email us, thefirstones2die@gmail.com. We would love to hear your comments, questions, and feedback. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe. Also comment below if you watched Rat Race. Let us know if you felt as nostalgic as us. By the way, this movie is free on YouTube. It is.
Yeah, that YouTube, surprised me. It's
amazing.
Free on YouTube, the whole thing. Now, if you don't have YouTube Premium, it will be with ads. Just know that going in, and they're bad. I had to literally swap to our First Ones to Die account where we have YouTube Premium, so I could watch the movie without every 5 minutes a series of ads.
I forgot that has premium on it. I watched it with the ads. I suffered.
So yeah, so just know if you don't have YouTube Premium, you will have a lot of ads to go through if you watch it, but it is free, 100% free, and it is 100% the movie. It's not like they cut anything out or anything like that.
Yes, it's like one of the YouTube movies that YouTube offers. So so go check that out on YouTube right now. And please give us 5 stars on your podcast listening platform. Give us a review. We would love that feedback. Next week.
Yeah, speaking of Margot Robbie, next week,
Barbieheimer.
Yes. coming to the podcast platform next Monday. Yes, we're doing a Barbie review. So check out our be there on that next Monday for our thoughts on Barbie and all of the pink stuff, Ken, everything. We're gonna talk about the whole shebang. So you don't want to miss that. I promise. You're gonna want to hear that review. We might even sing the Aqua song. Only if we get 1,000 likes on this video, and if we don't get them by the next time the next episode comes out, you're not listening to our rendition of Aqua's Barbie Girl. So I suggest y'all get on that.
Run it up.
That's right.
Run it up.
He will hear them sing. Nobody wants to hear me sing. So, be honest there now. But we'll see y'all next for the pinkness, the movie that led to the pink shortage in 2023.
And we'll count the number of times we hear explosions from the next theater while we're watching our show.
Yeah.
It should only be one. They only tested the bomb once because they kept thinking they were going to destroy the world.
I'm going to try to watch Oppenheimer and Barbie at the same time, like on the same day. I'm trying to figure out which one to watch first.
Well, I'm watching Oppenheimer on Thursday, and then I'm watching Barbie on Friday. That's how I'm going to do it.
I might tag along
Probably
with you to the
Oppenheimer
Barbie one.
first.
I already said that. Is it you and your girlfriend?
Probably. She should be back. She's on vacation right now, but she should be back by now.
Oh. Well, let me know the Friday one. I'm going to tag along with you. And your girlfriend, probably.
But, all right, audience.
I would invite you, Jonathan, but you're not here.
Dang.
You'll be there in spirit, Jonathan.
Yes.
We got to make a stick with your face on it. But right. Until next time, good night, good evening, good morning, or whenever you're listening to this. Bye.
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 Go on over to the YouTube channel at The First Ones to Die to see all the fun stuff we got going on here, like mini reviews, book reviews, gaming videos, vlogs, all types of stuff.
Please follow us at The First Ones to Die everywhere. Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe.